That's a pretty good door stop. Look, I got 2 of them. But, man, it don't take much for somebody to kick it right out of the way. I'll tell you what's not moving. Military door stop. Boom. So this is a classic low charge problem. I haven't disturbed anything. We're gonna let the DR82 warm up. Called yesterday, it was leaking water. I see some crap in the drain line, but get here today, thermostat's set on 60 degrees, of course, because that's gonna make it colder somehow. I had a hot liquid line and a lukewarm suction line. You could hear the refrigerant flowing through a liquid line like you would a walk-in cooler that's low on charge. It didn't sound right, so we got a low charge issue. I'm gonna start here, scan it. I'm not sure how old all this is. The unit up top is much older, and I know which one it is now just because I'm right on the outside wall and it goes straight up. So let's scan real quick with this, get a panel off and just check our evaporator first, and then we'll move up to the condenser. Make sure before I disturb anything, if there is a leak, we'll find it. Because there is refrigerant in it, it was still running. And we got a ball of ice. It's gonna take time for this to thaw out. I got some water in the pan. I don't think it's draining. It looks like it goes straight outside, so we can go look at it outside. Floor's crooked. This thing should have a drain pan under it. There's like a break room underneath of it, so when it leaks, it goes straight down. And I mean, filter's clean, or at least been changed. We need to clean the drain pan. We'll clean the drain line, and then all this ice should help flush the pan and the line out pretty well. And then we'll get in here and see. I mean, I got the blower running right now, but I don't know that it's gonna be in here. Got an aluminum coil, obviously. We'll have to shut the blower off and let it cycle, but now that I've found it frozen, I wanna get it unfrozen. So I think I'm gonna go start at the condenser now, put the panel back on and let this thing run to thaw out. That's the problem with setting it on 60. It don't get no colder, and if it's doing this, it just gets worse and worse. We probably got airflow issues too. I mean, return drops straight there. That's supply. So 90 up and over and then back down. That's never works well. It doesn't look like there's turning vanes. Feels like that duct is insulated internally, but we'll move on from there. I know this is an old building. I got airflow issues on the unit behind me too. I worked on a couple months back. So let's keep leak searching before we disturb anything. Let's try to find our leak, and then we'll go from there. Once this guy's thawed out, we'll be able to hopefully find a leak and come up with a plan. All right, so head pressure control here. These are going to be our possible leak points. The glare is bad, y'all can't see. There's swivel T's, low pressure switch, and then the fan cycle control. That was keeping my head pressure up. That's why I had a hot liquid line. It was keeping my pressure up enough to not, and it could have been tripping periodically on that low pressure switch. It's nicely done. I mean, hell, that's bare copper wire. I got no insulation left, so let's not worry about that right now, because I got a leaky, what I'm gonna suspect this is a Daikin or a Goodman. I've got oil here. I don't know how well it's come across camera, but this condenser is gonna be leaking right here. I got the original liquid line dryer down inside, which you probably can't see either, but I'll bet if we start scanning, bet if we start scanning, I thought I was gonna find a leak. This would be helpful for the camera if you would just hit when I want you to without taking this whole damn thing apart. Some of these had problems with leaks here on this header in the condenser coil. Maybe I'm wrong, but I trust the leak detector. So let's see if we got anything down here. It looks like there's some oil down here by these. I don't know if maybe somebody had their gauge on it and it was just from taking a gauge off, or if we truly got something leaking. If you carry a rag with you when you take these things off, when you take your gauges off, you can wipe the lines down so they don't look like they're leaking. Alright, I'm not picking anything up right here, so let's get the panels off, see if we can find a leak. Now, this is what I was looking for. You can see that's not a shadow. That line there, this is oil. That's kind of what I suspected. And you can see it's all down in the bottom of here too. There's a leak down there somewhere. Come on, work with me here. I don't know how much pressure's on this thing, because I was trying to check before I put gauges on it. I thought I was gonna hit where it was. Had to have some kind of pressure in it. Oh, don't fail me now, come on. Alright, we'll have to pinpoint it. I don't know if it's gonna be fixable or not. I mean, this is tube and fin, and it's copper, but the thing's still thawing out downstairs. It's gonna take a while, so I'm gonna make sure it's draining, and then we'll come up here and see if we can find anything. I do need to probably turn the damn disconnect off. That's one thing I didn't do, but it's gonna be leaking on that header. And keep in mind, Goodman had a run of them too that are older than the new stuff, but leak right there. I think this is gonna be 410A. Where's it at? Yep, 410A, 111 ounces. I'm just gonna get the top out of the way because I'm probably gonna get a good hit from the inside. So we're just gonna so fan motor's been replaced. So like we said, this fan cycle, we can see my fan motor wire. This is just these wires here. They taped them up decently. We got power and power from the fan motor, and then just they capped the white line, so they're only using a 3-wire. Other brown wire goes back to the capacitor, so we should be able to just pop the wire off the capacitor, leave our wire nuts here, and pull the whole damn top off. Let it warm up again. Got the fan off. This is my beef with, I know the glare's bad. I don't know what y'all can see. I can't see a damn thing. It's my beef with everybody, all the manufacturers, everybody. I mean, how can you tell me this is a good idea? This is the compressor, so I mean, it's a factory wire tie. So you wire tie it here, and then you run it behind your condenser on the discharge header. I mean, come on, man. It's not even my problem right now, but you know, when you know what you're looking for, you can see a lot of dumb shit, and that's dumb shit. Whew. Compressor's a little toasty. It's been running for a little while. I've been running since yesterday. Come on, give me a hit. There's oil all over the thing. It's leaking in here somewhere. It's probably gonna be in the coil, I would assume. Maybe I need to change the tip on this thing. It's usually pretty good. Usually the last time I found one like this, it was the top third, about right here, of this condenser. sometimes you get hits. Sometimes nothing wants to work for you. All this oil, I know there's a leak. I just gotta find it. Let's see if I can fix the damn thing. We have to unwire the whole compressor to get these wires out of the way. They need to be run on this side and then strap them to a line somehow, secure them. I'm gonna keep checking and we'll try to pinpoint this leak. I got a break area up here, so I was kind of waiting to show you, but we're draining. I guess we did all this. It was in here to keep the water from being here. And yet I have water here because whatever this is draining. Used to be connected, but it's not draining anymore, or not connected anymore. And then, no, it gets better. Hang on a second, because we go under the deck. Oh yeah, that's gonna drain well. Could it get better? Let's go on the other side and look. That's where it comes out. So you get another trap. We're running under the dock. All the way over here. I guess they're picking up another drain. Check it out. Another trap. Ain't no way this thing's draining. At least I know my unit's draining. They pick up, I don't know, that's just air line or something. So it just runs all the way around, everything tight all the way over here. And boom. So, it's not gonna drain, it's all fucking crooked as hell. Got 18 traps in the thing. So I think I'm gonna leave it right where it's at. We'll note it and just let that drain on the ground. It ain't hurting nothing where it's at. I don't know why. They probably tried to get rid of the water, but it is what it is at this point. At least I know the drain's draining. So the DR82 failed me. I got 140 PSI. It'll be picking something up. It's gotta be a pinhole because it's on the condenser, the high pressure side. So technically it should be empty probably. So it's gotta be a pinhole leak. Fun fact, I just saw they did a fire drill. I heard the alarm going off. I don't think anybody accounted for the guy on the roof. Never mind that guy up there. So we're gonna go back to the basics. Let's squirt some Big Blue on here. I did go ahead and move my wires. So when I get my fan motor wires back in here, keep them tight, and then we'll secure this somewhere to where it doesn't rub or vibrate. So we're gonna go slow and deliberate squeezes on you so you're not making bubbles. And we're gonna hit inside and out. We'll let it sit and we'll see if we get any micro bubbles start popping up. This is a tricky leak. I don't see it yet. I'll look all down in here. Kind of cleaned up in here. We sprayed it down. I don't see any bubbles there. Alright, you can see it's tracked. I don't know if you can see because I got the shade, but I mean, obviously you can see the difference in here. This is oil, and it's tracked all the way over here to this corner. You might be able to see it better from this side, actually. You can see that track line all the way down into the corner. So I'm just trying to pinpoint it. I might get in here with maybe I can get a screwdriver and just pull these fins out a little bit, just kind of easily try to pinpoint this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and send an email and start getting some information because I don't know if I can find it. I'm sure I could fix it if I could find the damn thing, but at some point I'm gonna have to turn this back on. I can't spend forever trying to find a leak that I know is in the coil because I don't see anything over here, and it's on. I'm seeing the oil signs, and this series had a problem. I think this is a 17, and I'm pretty sure I've had this problem before. I think if the wind wasn't blowing, the DR82 would have worked fine, but I got pretty good wind today, so I'm gonna keep trying to pinpoint and get some information over to the right people so we can start working on, can we get the damn coil? So by the time hopefully if I find it, I know if I need to fix it or not. I assumed I was going to attempt to fix it, but I got to find it first. So, when in doubt, just tear the whole thing apart, right? So, I mean, I've got to my header. It's crazy, the clearances, man. I mean, these things are tight up in here. I mean, it's leaking here somewhere. I just don't know where. It's going to be back probably in the coil somewhere. Usually you can get a bubble out of it. It's kind of weird how they do these coils. So some of them have the metal like surrounding the copper, and some of them just go straight through. But I haven't given up yet, but no signs of a leak as of yet either. I mean, I've got oil everywhere. You can see this is what came out of down here, and I mean, it's clearly oil. There's no doubt about it's leaking in here. The question is can I find it? So like I said, we're looking for condenser. I don't know how hard it's going to be to get. Haven't talked to the customer yet because I haven't found anything yet, and I was really hoping to find this leak. Now with it torn apart, so I can actually get in here, I've made a couple marks because this is where I've actually gotten hits from. 3 spots that actually gave me a hit, moving slower than normal because this is a pinhole, but I've been able to, the wind's gonna pick up now. Right there, that's the last one. But now I've got a spot to start with. So let's tear some of this aluminum out and see if I can get into it, because we need to pinpoint it. It might have multiple leaks too. That's kind of where I'm at. If I tear this apart too much, I might make it worse. At least I've gotten a hit now, so I know it's in the coil. I'd like to pinpoint, but I don't want to make it any worse than it already is. I might be able to get through a couple days by adding some charge. That thing's stalling out inside and is warming up out here. So, I mean, I started, it was a little over 100 PSI, so that's probably pretty much thawed out. Can't see it anymore. It's right there. It's kind of blurry now too, but it's right there on the where that metal meets that copper. So here's where I'm at. We get nothing, and then I start right as I hit my mark. Start getting hits. All these things are leaking. Every mark, I'm on medium now. Every mark that I made, and then the top one's obviously probably even worse now because I had to move the fins around, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to not try to repair because I've got multiple leaks. I really need to, all this would have to get cut out, and you're basically going to have to cut them out and go in there and start fixing, and then we've probably got more possible leaks. Like I said, they had a run of these coils. I remember because I found a couple of them that were leaking in the same damn spot, and I remember it being that top third. So I think we're going to charge it up for today, get it running for them. I got to put all this back together. We'll secure everything, and then see how long it's going to take to get a coil. Alright, so we're connected. I'm not super subcooling this thing. Let's tear our scale out. We already bled from here. Got disconnect off. this isn't all perfect. I'm not doing everything. I'm trying to get this thing back up and running. All this has got to be tore apart when we get the coil. Anyway, so we're going to have to redo it all. I did get some tubing on the line for that pressure control. Got a call from the thermostat, so that didn't sound good. You can see that's why my line was hot. It's not, that compressor might be shot. Could be running backwards. Couldn't have been doing that before because I had a hot line and I could hear refrigerant moving. Unless red and yellow were swapped. Alright. This was supposed to go a little smoother than this, but I gotta get refrigerant into it. That's the main thing. Let me figure out. One more try. Thank God for video, because I went back. Yellow was here. Yeah, so yellow was with the red. I just pulled the compressor wires off and threw them back on there. It's ought to pump a lot better. Now that we're going the right way. Oh yeah, no wonder compressor sounded bad. It's running backwards. All right, let's start dumping some refrigerant. We're gonna go slow because I am dumping liquid and I'm going straight to my compressor. So it kind of is what it is. We've got to get refrigerant in it. We're just gonna monitor what we're putting in. Fan's not even on yet, so we're gonna see. You shouldn't charge with the fan cycle switch. I should really bypass the fan cycle switch and then charge it. I'm 80 degrees outside now, so I'm just gonna be shooting with my fan running full speed, shooting for 20 to 30 degrees over ambient on my head pressure saturation. And we know it holds 7 pounds or about, so 111 ounces. So if I start getting towards 7 pounds, I know it's got some refrigerant in it, but we don't want to severely overcharge it, even though it's gonna leak. But it kind of is what it is at this point. So we're just gonna get refrigerant in it. We're gonna watch. It's gonna be all off now anyways because our fan cycle switch is going, but it's 80 degrees out here. We should, the fan cycle was set at, looks like just below 400 and then differential of 100, so 3 something, that fan should kick on. I'm not gonna mess with the pressures or anything right now. I'm just gonna get charged in it, get them some cool air, and then we're gonna try to find a condenser. The last thing I'm gonna do is shove a tag in here so the next guy knows exactly what happened. We're working on getting a coil. It wasn't gonna be worth repairing. I would have been here all day trying to repair it and then maybe not have got it repaired in the first place. Saturation. Don't call me and tell me you got 120 PSI. That means nothing to me. 120 PSI can be 40 degrees or 70 degrees, depending on what refrigerant you're using. It's all about the temperature. My condenser temperature and my evaporator temperature. Running about a 40 degree evaporator. Fan's still cycling. I'm not putting any more refrigerant in it because I think I'm gonna leave this guy off. It was running hot when I got here. The head pressure control is keeping the pressure up enough that it's trying to run. I'm sure the compressor was probably dropping out on overload, and I don't want to lose the compressor. I don't know how long the condenser coil is going to take to get in, but it kind of is what it is. We're going to change everything, low pressure switch. We're going to rewire the stuff. We'll clean it up a little better than I've got now. I'm happy with it enough that it's not going to blow up in a day. But again, I'm going to leave it off. I don't think leaving it running is not going to help them. It's just going to leak out. I can see the leak up there. Probably going to be tomorrow, the next day, sometime this week. I think it's like Tuesday, Wednesday right now. So by the end of the week, this thing's just going to be sitting here running. They're going to turn the thermostat back down to 60 degrees because it's going to get hot in there, and I'm going to end up killing my compressor. It's probably won't be dead. It'll go out on overload a few 100 times before we actually get out to change the coil, but you know how that goes, so I don't want to lose the compressor. I didn't plan on recording this, but it kind of is what it is. I'm going to move on to the next one. I got to get out of here. Leave it everybody find it. See y'all next time. And lastly, for some of the younger guys that may not know, tank's off. I'm gonna open the suction line, open the discharge or the liquid, and I'm gonna close my ball valve. So everything in my liquid hose is now feeding over back into my system. So I'm not going to lose as much refrigerant. This hose is full of liquid refrigerant if I have that ball valve open. So when I go to take my fitting off, it's going to spray everywhere and get all over everything. This is still going to spray a little bit, but I'm not going to lose nearly as much refrigerant that's sitting in my hose because I've bled through my gauges back into the low side of the system.